Well, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Friday the 13th um, stream. Obviously, you guys know who I am, Ghostface Fanatic here. We're going to be talking about the Friday the 13th franchise tonight. Obviously, yesterday we talked about the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise even though I wasn't a big fan of it. I wanted to do something different. But tonight we're going to be talking about the Friday the 13th um, franchise and just talk about the franchise. Just theorize a little bit. Talk about like we could like rank every movie, um, whatever. Um, yeah, we're just gonna wait for some people to get in here, but um, so yeah, we got so the Friday the 13th franchise obviously is one of my favorites. No question. It's one of my favorite franchises. Um, Without a doubt. It's my third favorite. It's not my number one favorite, but it is my third favorite, which means that I'm kind of like I wouldn't say I'm like I am a diehard fan of it, but I'm not like as much of a fan of it as I am on the Halloween films. So I do like it though. It's definitely one of my favorites. My favorite franchise. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of movies that I like, a lot of discussions. I want to a lot of stuff that I need to get off my chest. Tonight. In terms of the franchise as a whole. I Obviously there's some movies that I don't like. But there's a lot that I do. Um, so obviously starting with my least favorite obviously is Jason Goes to Hell, which that one was just an absolute disaster. Um, but I like, I do like, however, I do like the kills. That's probably about it. Other than that, I don't like, I just don't like the movie. It's because Jason wasn't in it as much, and plus I feel like he should have been. The thing is, right? They named it Friday the 13th, but they only had Jason in it, for in the opening scene and then at the end. So that was a little weird, I guess. I didn't really like that at all. I didn't like that because again, it's a Friday the 13th film, and we didn't really get that. We didn't really get that. Kane Hodder didn't really get to do what he didn't get to do as much because the character wasn't in the film that long. So that's kind of my problem. Like that's my main problem. Like think that I don't think that Kane Hodder. I feel like he got wasted more than anything. In a lot of ways because not only did he, I feel like he just got wasted because again he didn't get to do as much. Yeah, it's definitely the most probably the worst film in the franchise. If I have to be honest. Now I do like the music. I do like the kills and whatnot. But again, it's not Jason, so it doesn't really matter. So that's basically my problem with it. I don't really like it as a Friday film really because again, it doesn't really feel like one because it wasn't really Jason doing the killings, and plus everybody will say that everyone will say that it was Jason doing the kills, but I don't think it was Jason truly. I just don't think it was. Like people say, well, they were possessed by Jason. Well, yeah, that's totally different from that being like the actual character. Like because the character actually, what I look at is if I see what counts to me is that if those people that got possessed were wearing a hockey mask like Jason, well then I guess that would have. I guess that would have. I don't think that would have made a difference either. But I'm just saying, I think it makes a difference. Like if people keep on saying that the Jason character, that it was Jason doing the killings, but then again, we didn't see them wearing a hockey mask. We didn't see them with machete or nothing like that. So to me, that's not really the character. I mean, yeah, Jason was possessing him, but at the same time, it's not the character. So doesn't really that doesn't really matter to me personally. So that's basically my problem with the Friday the 13th Jason Goes to Hell. Like it just overall just wasn't a Friday the 13th film in my opinion. It just wasn't, you know, just wasn't a Friday the 13th film in my opinion. It just wasn't. Um, and it was just I think it's by far the worst in the franchise. And yeah, I mean the look of Jason in that film, was underrated. I feel, that I really love the look of Jason in that film, and I also love the music as well, you know. But I feel like he got wasted. He just got wasted. Kane Hodder got wasted in the film. He didn't get to do he didn't get to do much, to be honest. Um, so it was just disappointing all around that he didn't get to do enough stunt work in that film. He just got wasted totally. So that's basically my downfall of it. We seen Jason in the beginning. In the first 5 minutes, he gets killed, and then obviously we see him again at the end of the film, but and then that's it. So we only saw him at the beginning and then at the end, which is cool that you brought him back still at the end, but we would have loved to see him throughout the whole film, you know, because that's the whole point of a Friday the 13th. So that's just my opinion on that. I feel like they should have did it a lot better, I feel. And the director, whatever his name is, I feel like he didn't do right. I feel like he was wrong. I don't feel like he did a good job personally. I just don't. You know. No, I personally don't think he did a good job. But hey, I mean, people are gonna have their own opinions on it. Like I don't know where he was going with it personally, but I mean, people are gonna have their own opinions. And again, I like the soundtrack. The soundtrack is absolutely phenomenal. I like it. I like the soundtrack. I like the music. But that's all that I like. And then obviously the kills. But then again, it's not Jason doing the kills. So I mean that's basically my problem. Like the music, the soundtrack is good. The kills are good, but that's all I really like. And I think it's underrated. And like the music, I feel like got wasted in that film and again, Kane Hodder got wasted. So, and I'm gonna talk about a little bit about the Jason X as well, like or not Jason X, um, Friday the 13th Part 5. Now that's the one that I don't hate at all because again, there's a lot of people that hate it because of the look of Jason and whatnot. But at the same time, it's Jason, so it doesn't really like affect me or anything because of Jason. We get to see the character do the kills, but I understand a lot of people didn't like the look. A lot of people didn't like, the fact that he had the jumpsuit on and all that. And this didn't think he didn't think that he was Jason because he looked more like, like a real human like us instead of a zombie like he is, which I could understand like why people, feel, why people would hate that film. But I personally don't hate it. I think Halloween, or I said Halloween, sorry. Friday the 13th Part 5, I think is the most underrated, one of the underrated ones. I mean, yeah, it's not perfect, of course, but it's certainly not a bad film either. Like, I feel like it's one of like the best films. Um, Maybe the look of him doesn't look as great. Maybe he does look too humanly and whatnot. But again, I really just don't. I just don't mind it. I like it personally. And then obviously we got Jason Lives, which obviously Jason Lives is a great one. That's one of my favorites as well. Like, I don't have any problem with that. And then obviously the New Blood, that's also great. Jason Takes Manhattan, which Jason Takes Manhattan, I feel like is probably the most underrated one in the franchise. And let me tell you why, okay? It's the most underrated film because a lot of people were saying that they have a problem with basically Jason being, on a cruise ship the whole film, and not being in New York, I guess. A lot of people expected them to be in New York the whole film. Um, so a lot of people had a problem with that. A lot of people just feel like the whole film should have been in New York instead of them being on the cruise ship for one half of the film. But I honestly like it, even though, yeah, they should have probably named it, Jason Takes a cruise ship. But I honestly don't have a problem with it, I think it's a well-rounded film. Personally, it's a entertaining film. There's a lot of good kills in it. And yeah, listen, I know that a lot of people have a problem. They're on a cruise ship for one half of the film, but again, it's an entertaining film to me. It has great kills. Number one, it's just entertaining. And then obviously when they get to New York or whatever, that's when people really start thinking like, why, how in the hell was Jason able to get there to New York with them and follow him all the way there? And I'm just like, because Jason's Jason, he morphs, he could swim, I mean, he can morph. So, I mean, it's not really unrealistic if you think about it. So I really love that movie, especially when they get into New York. That's really, really when it gets, really good as well. Especially when that scene when he punches that guy's head off or whatever, that was absolutely brutal. That was brutal. But yeah, I don't know, it's just a great film, man. I like it a lot. A lot of people just don't like it for a lot of I think it's just because of it was on the cruise ship, you know. And I guess the directors, the producers were gonna, name it Jason Takes a Cruise Ship originally, but they decided not to. So I mean, it is what it is, man. I enjoyed it. It was a good film to me. A lot of people found it cheesy that he was at New York, but hey, we need something. We needed something new. Personally, I don't feel like Jason always has to be in Crystal Lake. He could go anywhere, you know. Just like in Jason X, he ended up going to space. So I mean, it's not. I mean, he could go anywhere. So I don't really have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all. I think personally, it's kind of cool for him to do, you know, to go to other locations and whatnot. Like if they, what if they did one like when he was like in the hood or something, or in like prison or something like that. Like, yeah, and you don't always have to be in Crystal Lake personally to for it to be a great film. You know, like I know that's basically where the films originate, like where like what it's about. Like it's about Crystal Lake, of course. It's based on that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he has to be there. Like, you know, he could go other places, I feel. Um I think he's the type of character that could go anywhere. So yeah, so I don't really have a problem with that. I personally think that shot of him in New York was really, really cool. Um the shot of him in Manhattan, Times Square, how that was awesome. So yeah, I really don't have a problem with it at all. Like I just don't. I never had a problem with the film. I've always liked the film. It's entertaining to me, you know. I just really like it, you know, and I feel like it gets too much hate. And the look, I think the look of Jason too, like it's I think that's the best look, probably the most underrated look probably in the franchise. It's probably like one of my personal favorites. Um and a lot of people don't really like that look, but I do. I think it's one of the best. Um so yeah, it's definitely, man, this movie's just so underrated in my opinion. Such a great film, you know, and it gets so much hate that it doesn't deserve. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that people, I mean, a lot of people, I guess, that, you know, again, people are not going to like the same films as others, you know. There's going to be a lot of people that do like it. Then there's going to be a lot of people that don't like it. So, and but me personally, I don't hate it at all. It's underrated. It's the most one of the most underrated films, and yeah, I don't hate it at all. So, and now another one, obviously, you guys know, Jason X. I mean, that one's another one that I feel is underrated. You know, like there's just so many entertaining moments throughout that film that I like. Like I understand, like him being in space is kind of weird to some people. It may be a little weird to some people, but honestly, I don't think it's that weird. I think that again, he could go anywhere. He could go to the hood. He could go to Hollywood. You know, he could go to um, he could go, like I said, to L.A. or something like that. You know, he could go anywhere. He could go to somewhere where it snows. So I feel like I don't have a problem with it. You know, I don't have a problem with him being in space. Um, at all. Like I feel like it's the most underrated, the most under one of the most underrated films in the franchise. Like a lot of people give it so much shit, probably because it was cheesy. And now, okay, let me explain. So when I first watched it before, when I first had watched it, I didn't like it at all. Like I didn't like it at all as a film. Because I thought it was a little cheesy. But then I started like understanding it a little more the more and more I watched. And then I realized, you know, I really dig this film. It's a really good film, you know? So maybe at first I kind of hated it, you know, I didn't really like it as much. like at first, but then um when I started watching it more, I started liking it more. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a good film. You know, the look of Jason. You know, the no matter like I understand a lot of people just don't like the fact that it's in space, but then again, I think that's badass. You know, I mean, the look of Jason in that film looks so badass in my opinion. He had like basically like armor all over his body, like he had like steel, like he was just full of like metal, like he looks so badass like to me, you know. Um, especially when he basically when he got basically upgraded or whatever. Um, I thought that was pretty sick, personally. I mean, I know a lot of people may not like that, but I thought that was sick. Um, and again, there's a lot of underrated. There's a lot of cheesiness, of course. You know, there's gonna be a lot of cheesiness. A lot of people ain't gonna like certain moments in it. You know, because there is a lot of cheesiness. I'm not even gonna lie about that. But overall, it's a good film, in my opinion. You know, I think it gets too much hate that it doesn't deserve. Uh, the space setting is probably like the most underrated. Just the look of Jason in that film is underrated, in my opinion, as well. You know, when he gets like upgraded and whatnot. Uh, so yeah, it's definitely that's another one that I feel gets a lot of hate, and a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there that don't like the film just because it is in space. But to me, I think Jason's character, there's nothing wrong with doing something new every once in a while. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. So I really didn't have a problem with that. Um, but yeah, that's another underrated one, in my opinion. Another underrated. And then obviously we got what's another underrated one I can think of. I mean, that's probably about it. I mean, a lot of people will probably say Jason Goes to Hell. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that like Jason Goes to Hell, which I don't really blame them in a way, but for me, it's not really a great film like that because again, Jason's not in it really. I mean, he appears in it, of course, but he doesn't do the kills. So it's not really Friday the 13th film. But hey, man, I understand a lot of people. There's a lot of people that do like those films or do like that film. So, um, so yeah, that's basically that's Jason X, the most underrated. Jason Takes Manhattan, another one. I mean, the list goes on, man. Like, I think the franchise overall, I feel is pretty good. You know, it's a pretty well-rounded franchise, I believe. Um, it really depends on what. I mean, there's a lot of people that feel this franchise is better than the Halloween franchise, which I think it is too. I tend to think that. I think this film was definitely better than, in a lot of ways, than or this franchise is more entertaining than the Halloween films in a way, just the way Jason kills people and whatnot. Um, I feel like that's a little more entertaining than the Halloween films. I think it's just the way Jason kills people. I think is why people feel like it's like a better franchise. Um, even though I do like Halloween, but I will say that Friday the 13th to me is probably the most entertaining franchise in terms of because Jason, just the way he kills people, rips people's arms off and all that. He does crazy ass shit. So I feel like I don't ever see Michael doing anything crazy like that. Like, so it's just like Jason is more entertaining, I think. Like in terms of like kills and all that. Like he'd be doing like crazy ass shit, but yeah, I like I'm not saying I've always preferred the Halloween films over the Friday the 13th films, but I even though I like both franchises, excuse me, even though I like both franchises, I think Michael Myers is scarier, but I think Jason is more entertaining. Like, you know what I mean? No, like Jason's far more entertaining. Like he's way more entertaining. The way he kills people, just the way he kills people in a different way, and it's more entertaining, I think. So, um, so yeah, I definitely think like Halloween is a good franchise as well, but a lot of people feel like the Friday the 13th franchise is better because just because of that. Um, so yeah, and then obviously we got obviously the remake. Okay, the remake of Friday the 13th is another good one. I feel, that's definitely a good one. A lot of people give that hate as well. I feel, um, but I honestly like it. It's a pretty good remake. It didn't try to copy anything. Kind of try to try to do its own thing. Which I like. I don't like when remakes copy uh, the original films. I like it when they do their own thing, even if they had the similar characters in there. I mean, I don't really mind that as long as they don't try to copy the same scenes, which I liked. So, um, yeah, that one's. I think that one's pretty damn good. That one's pretty underrated as well. Um, and then obviously, like I was saying, it's an overall just good franchise. Obviously, the original is always going to be like the number one. Um, and a fun fact, I don't know if you guys knew, but Pamela Voorhees was actually going to be like the main killer in the Friday the 13th franchise before Jason was. So apparently, I guess Pamela was going to be like the main killer of the franchise. Like we weren't going to have Jason or anything. Um, and Pamela was going to be like the main killer of the franchise, which that's pretty interesting. And then obviously, if you guys don't remember, in Friday the 13th Part 2, when Jason was wearing a sack head, he's called Sackhead Jason. He had like the bag over his head, like as the mask. Uh, Kind of remind me of that one film. I forget the name of it. Um, I forget the name of it. It's in the tip of my tongue. But the Sackhead Jason, that was going to be what the Jason character was going to look like. He wasn't going to have the hockey mask or anything. I think they came up with that idea at the last minute. Um, Originally, he was going to just have the sack head, that's the bag or whatever over his head. And the whole franchise, like he wasn't even going to have a hockey mask, apparently. But then they decided to, have him wear a hockey mask instead because it just looks better, I feel. I don't think that it would have looked as iconic with just the bag. I mean, the bag over his head looked cool and all, but I don't think it would have been as iconic as it is now with the with the hockey mask. Um, the hockey mask is just so iconic, and it just looks so. It fits the character so well. Like so, I feel like they did a good job with that. I feel like they did a good job with that personally. It was definitely, a last minute decision to change the mask up. It wasn't going to be the bag or like that's crazy that it was going to be the bag though. Like it was going to be like the the sackhead, Jason. Like it wasn't going to be. We weren't going to have any hockey mask. No, nothing. Like it was going to be the Jason that we saw in part 2, which that was going to be what what he was going to look like. So yeah, it's definitely. I'm glad that they changed it at the last minute because again, I feel like it's the most. It integrates the hockey mask fits the character so well, as I was saying, and it's so iconic, and I just don't think that bag would have been as iconic personally. Um, but yeah, it's definitely pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting that was going to be basically the plan. Um, so yeah, it's pretty interesting. Oh, and obviously, I know like so. I don't know if you guys also heard. This is something that I didn't know, but I guess Jason. I think Jason was only going to use only have one weapon. Like he wasn't going to have multiple weapons or anything like that. Like he wasn't going to have a machete um or anything like that. So that's very interesting as well. Um, but anyways, I'm going to change the topic a little bit. So there's been some rumors. I don't know if it's rumors at this point, but there's been a lot of rumors, or not a lot of rumors, a lot of news about a new gaming company making a new Friday the 13th video game. Now that's I think pretty interesting on itself. Um, a Friday the 13th video game. I mean, we already have a Friday the 13th video game, but I think they're doing like a part 2 to it because they don't feel like because obviously if you guys don't remember the lawsuit happened, they were going to add a whole bunch of DLCs, a whole bunch of different maps and whatnot. They couldn't do that because of the lawsuit. So there's news out there that they are making another Friday the 13th video game, and it's actually going to be made by a different company, which is actually crazy to think. I don't really know how it's going to look, how it's going to be, but yeah, it's definitely going to. They're saying that it's going to be more realistic, apparently, and that's all they basically said. Um, So I really don't know what to think of it. I'm kind of shocked to be honest. I didn't really think that they would make another one, but I mean, if they don't, they were supposed to update again. The lawsuit hurt, you know, what they had plans for in the Gun Media's version. Um, they had like a whole bunch of DLCs. They were supposed to bring the Manhattan map, the Jason X map, and whatnot. They were supposed to bring Jason X into the game as well, but the lawsuit kind of prevented that, so they couldn't do it. So yeah, it's pretty interesting that we're getting a new Friday the 13th video game. Um, because again, I just don't know like how it's gonna go. I don't know what it's gonna be like or anything. I don't know anything like that yet. We don't know any like news other than that a new company is making it at this time. Um, and we don't really know anything else other than that. It's going to be more realistic, apparently. So that's basically all we really know at this point. We don't know. We don't know anything else, any other like news about it. You know, right as of right now. So as of right now, we all we could do is speculate. Now, I believe, okay, I truly believe this is just my theory, okay? Like I think that this game is basically going to be like a part 2 to the first game that we got under Gun Media, because the lawsuit happened, they weren't able to get all the DLCs that we were supposed to get. So I think a new company is making another Friday the 13th game to possibly get all those skins that we were supposed to get, all the maps that we were supposed to get. Um, that's what I think personally. That's why I think they're making another game. Um, I'm kind of in shock again because again, I didn't think that they would make another one. Um, but it kind of makes sense because obviously the Gun Media game is outdated. They can't really do nothing to that no more. So, and they're actually shutting down the servers, sadly. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, I'm very shocked by that. Very shocked that they are making another one because I mean I had a lot of theories that they probably would make another one, but I didn't think that they would necessarily but apparently obviously I'm wrong about that and they are making another one. So I mean it's going to be very interesting. I actually have the news right now and I'm going to look up the news right now because obviously there's a lot of people saying that I'm gonna look up the news right now because obviously I saw it on a site or whatever, and I actually heard about it. Actually, somebody told me about it in one of my live streams, so I was very interested by it. So the issues with the Friday the 13th rights appear to have been resolved, as Jason will return in an all new TV series in the works at Peacock. Meanwhile, it's been revealed that a new Friday the 13th video game is in the works. And then obviously, so Sharpen the Machete, a new Friday the 13th game is coming. Composer Harry Manfredini spilled the beans on the upcoming project. It's been an awfully long time since we've had much of anything to enjoy when it comes to Friday the 13th. In no small part due to the legal battle between original director Sean S. Cunningham and screenwriter Victor Miller. However, the dust is settling and Jason Voorhees is returning to us in various forms of media over the coming years. Case in point, it has been revealed that the Machete welding slasher is getting a new video game. Unfortunately, details are slim for now, but the information comes directly from longtime franchise composer Harry Manfredini, who has composed the music for nearly every movie in the series since the 1980 original. Speaking to Rely on Horror, Manfredini revealed that a new Friday the 13th video game is in the works. No word on how on the studio, no word on the studio developing the game, what platforms it will be available on, nor when we could expect to play. He teased that it will feature more realistic looking characters compared to 2017's Friday the 13th, the game, which was developed by Elphonic and published by Gun Media. The report indicates neither the studio nor the publisher of the game will be involved as an entirely new undertaking. Whatever the specifics, this is a pretty major development. Jason was tied up in illegal red tape for years, preventing anything from happening with the franchise. The Friday the 13th, the game had to stop adding new content in 2018 due to those legal issues. That's all changing though. Not only do we have this mystery game coming our way, but we've also got a Peacock prequel series, Crystal Lake, in the works for Hannibal's Brian Fuller. The one thing that we don't have is a new movie though, or a new movie. Though with a new game and TV show on the way, that now feels closer to becoming a reality than it has in a very, very long time. In short, things things are looking good. As for when we might learn about this game, it's worth nothing that Summer Game Fest runs from June 7th through June 12th with various developers and publishers showcasing their games coming down the pipeline. So we could strong emphasize on could learn more in coming days if we're lucky. This new Friday the 13th video game does not have a release date, but stay tuned as we'll bring you more details as they're made available. So there you go. That's basically the article. That's basically what they're saying as of right now. They can't really say anything much about it, which is not really surprising because again, it is a mystery game and they don't want to give it away. I mean, all we know is that it's going to be more realistic than the 2017 game that we got right now. So, yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. I'm just very curious to see like what it's gonna be like because again, Gun Media will not be involved in it. So I really don't know how it's gonna be, like how it's gonna work. But I think the Friday the 13th video game servers are shutting down because of the new game coming out, the new game being developed. So I think they're shutting down, and also a lot of people are playing, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game So they're actually shutting down the servers. Sadly, the Friday the 13th game was so fun online. It's just too bad that the lawsuit got in the way of all the stuff that we could have gotten. You know. Why is there no Friday the 13th? Well, yeah, because the legal battle, obviously. And obviously, if you guys don't remember, Elias Voorhees is the father of Jason, Elias. But yeah, it's very, very interesting. I don't really know how it's going to go. A lot of people are kind of concerned in a way because they don't know how realistic it's going to be. They don't know anything about like how real it's going to really be or anything like that. All they know is going to be they're saying it's going to be realistic, but we don't really know like what it's going to be like in terms of because obviously gun media won't be involved, you know. Um, so it's going to be I don't know, man. It's going to be very interesting to see like how it's going to go because I mean it seems like it will be a pretty good ass game, especially in the future. Who really knows? I don't really know like when we could expect to see it, but I would imagine that we'll get more news on it um, we get when we get that TV series or whatever. Because I think that would be the perfect time to give us news about it. But yeah, that's when we get. I just don't really know how it's gonna go. I don't know how much news that we're gonna get. Um, you would think that we would get news. You would think that we would get news. Um, when the TV series comes out, which I think that would be the best time to do it. Again, because you're releasing the TV series or whatever, and I think that comes out in like May. So that would be the best time to release a little more news, about the game. But yeah, I like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. Again, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game is good. It's a good game. It's just not as good as the Friday the 13th game. Like I feel like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game was fun at first, but then when you start playing it after a while, it kind of gets a little boring because you can't even find anybody. Really, you can't find any survivors or anything like that. Some sessions, sometimes you get put in like a session where you can't find absolutely anybody. Like it's kind of unrealistic and kind of boring. you know. So I feel like Friday the 13th, the game is a hell of a lot better than that, you know, because at least I feel like it was a lot funner, you know, which why I kept the Friday the 13th game because it's just I feel like it's a lot funner, and I do like the Leatherface. Don't get me wrong, Leatherface is the most underrated franchise or the most underrated icon. I believe, but the game itself, it's fun and all, but it's just not. It's not like that. It's not like the Friday the 13th game. It just isn't. Like if you were able to do the stuff that you were able to do in the Friday the 13th game, maybe I would have preferred, like I would have changed my mind a little bit, but sadly that's just not the case, you know. I just can't I can't like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game just got boring after a while, and yeah, it just got boring, you know. So I honestly just quit playing it. I want to play personally. I want to play the Friday the 13th game more often because I do got it still. I still got it downloaded. I just don't have. Of course, I got all the skins and all that as well. So, and I got the weapon swap, but I don't. The servers will be shutting down sadly, so that's gonna suck. Personally, so the only thing we'll be able to do is play with bots, which hey, I mean that would be that's fun still, but I guess it's just sad that the servers are shutting down because I just don't like Texas Chainsaw Massacre the game. It's just not like at first it looked interesting, it looked fun, and it was fun, but then it just got boring because again, when you can't find anybody, it's not as fun, you know. It's boring. But I do like it. I do like it. You know, it's a cool game because again, the Leatherface, you know, Texas Chainsaw Massacre as a whole is just a great franchise, you know. And it was just cool to see Leatherface get his own game. But it just wasn't it's just not done right because again, you can't find anybody in a session like sometimes. And it's just not as fun. So I personally I personally like Friday the 13th more than that just because Friday the 13th you have more people in a session, you know, you have at least I think you at least have like 6 people to go after. So that's pretty fun, I think. A lot funner. Um and maybe even like 7, but I think it may be 7, but yeah, that game's just a hell of a lot funner. I just remember playing that all the time. Like like every fucking day. Like sorry for my language, but I would play that like every day, man. It was just so fun. Like especially online and whatnot. Like playing as a counselor and whatnot. Like that's fun. Like I just remember that just playing it every single day online, you know? And there's still people that do. You know, there's people that still do play it online, you know? Even though the servers are going to be shut down sadly, which that's unfortunate that the servers are going to be shut down. But again, it is what it is. It is what it is. I guess. Um, but yeah, sorry, I was saying what's up to Jordan Talks Films. He's um he's live right now, so but yeah, so I'm definitely really excited to see about the TV series. I feel like the TV series is I want a movie, of course. I definitely want a movie, but sorry, I'm talking on the chat with everyone. Sorry, I'm I'm talking to Jordan Talks Films on here. He's live right now, so but yeah, sorry about that. I was talking to my boy Jordan Talks Films. He's online right now, doing his live stream. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm really, really curious to see like what they do with the Friday the 13th TV series. Very, very curious. I just don't really know what they're gonna do. Or I said TV series. Right? I think I said TV series. Yeah, I'm just very curious what they do. I'm very like I haven't had we haven't had a Friday the 13th film since 2009. It hasn't been it's been a long time. So I mean, at least we're getting a TV series. So I mean, I'm just kind of man. I just want a movie again because again, we haven't had a movie in so long. So this, I wish we would have another movie. But it is what it is. I guess. But yeah, I'm very curious to see how it goes. You know, So obviously the new video game. So I would imagine that we'll probably get news on it when the TV series comes out. I think the TV series comes out. The TV series comes out around I think 20. Well, obviously in the spring, I believe. Um, Let me see when it comes out again, because I'm pretty sure it comes out in 2024. Um, so Friday the 13th, which is also has two Friday the 13th. The first of the two comes on September 13th, 2024, exactly 13 weeks before the second Friday the 13th, and December 2024. Um, oh, that's pretty interesting. I didn't know that. I did not know that at all. Um, so 2024. So this says that it will be coming out in December of 2024, but I don't really. I thought for sure it was coming out in the spring. I don't really remember. They're saying in 2024, but I just don't really know like what the release date, like what the actual release date is. Like I know it's going to be coming out in 2024, of course. But let's see here. So Friday the 13th, Adrian King teases the release window for Peacock's Crystal Lake prequel series. The original Friday the 13th film's OG Final Girl has hinted at a timeline for Peacock's prequel series, and the wait just might kill you. Adrian King, aka um, Intrepid Alice, from the first two Friday the 13th slasher flicks, excuse me, shared on Instagram a photo of her with Brian Fuller, saying that she and Fuller, the writer slash showrunner slash executive producer for Peacock's Crystal Lake prequel series, had another exciting meeting filling me in on what's in store for us at Camp Blood. Always a joy and can't wait until I'm able to share some details. Back in January, King had shared to Facebook a snapshot of her reclined in a canoe, not unlike the one Alice boarded at the close of Friday the 13th, with the caption, I'm so excited to be going back to Crystal Lake, there's so much I wish I could share with you regarding the new series, but you'll just have to be patient. So yeah, Adrian King. So the original actor from obviously the first two Friday the 13th will be back, I guess, in the series, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. So yeah, I'm very curious to see how it goes. I'm just man. Like I still don't know what the release date is. It said that 2024 is around. They just said 2024 sometime. Obviously, they haven't gave like an exact like month or anything like that. But as of right now, it looks like with over 40 national elections being held throughout. Okay. So Friday the 13th, 2024 show can redeem the original's missing story. The upcoming Crystal Lake TV show can finally integrate an essential aspect of the Friday the 13th franchise, which was unexpected or split. I can't really say that. The first Friday the 13th TV series ran from 1987 until 1990, though it shared some key crew members with the movies, such as longtime producer. Uh, yeah, I really can't. I don't really understand any of that. Like the So Crystal Lake A24's Friday the 13th series likely premiering in 2024. The Friday the 13th franchise is finally getting set to return to the big screen. Crystal Lake, an upcoming prequel TV series from A24 Peacock and Brian Fuller. That's uh, miraculously able to use any and all existing elements from the franchise. As we recently learned, original Friday Final Girl Adrian King will have a recurring role in the series. And King has shared two updates via social media in recent days. In one post to Twitter, King shares a behind the scenes photo from her first writers' meeting, while a post to Instagram suggests that the series is aiming for a 2024 premiere. King writes on IG, "Happy Friday, campers." Brian Fuller, our bloody brilliant head counselor slash producer of Crystal Lake, the upcoming series, and I had another exciting meeting, filling me in on what's in store for us at Camp Blood. Always a joy and can't wait until I'm able to share some details. King's Instagram post includes the hashtag coming 2024. Wow, that's pretty interesting. Hey, what's up, Jordan Talks Films? How you doing, man? We're just talking some Friday the 13th tonight. Talking about the new series that's going to be coming out. Also talking about the franchise as well, but I'm doing well, man. You were just in my live, right? Yeah, I was listening to your live. Yeah, I was in the comments. I seen you go live for a little bit there. I seen you that you were doing like a test stream. So I thought I would pop in, for a little bit or for a minute there to say what's up. But other than that, I'm just talking about the Friday the 13th franchise tonight. Um, Also talking about, I don't know if you heard about the new video game that's supposedly being made right now. It's going to be made by another company, but there's a new video game that's actually coming out, which is crazy. I didn't know about it until somebody told me in one of my live streams. Um, I believe it was Russell that told me about it. He said that they're making a Friday the 13th video game, and I'm just like, I was kind of in shock by that because I didn't think that they would make another one. But then again, I kind of think it's probably a part two to the other one that we got already. If a test and it turned into a legit streaming. If I had the time, it could have been legit. But like 2 to 3 hours. Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Anyone else pop in the live yet? I cannot. I can't see any of the recent transfers. No, 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 not yet. You're actually the first one to pop in. I've been going live for a little bit. But yeah, I just been talking about the Friday the 13th franchise. Um, Hope he can make. Oh yeah, yeah. I seen that you that you're gonna be doing a Christmas stream on December the 25th. Um, I don't know. I'll try to make it. Um, for sure. But obviously, I'll be hanging out with a lot like family, during that time because obviously, opening presents and whatnot. But I'll try to, make it for sure. Um, yeah, there's new Friday news. So obviously, I don't know if you knew they are making a Friday the 13th TV series, and also they're making a new Friday the 13th video game, which I was very shocked by because I didn't think they would make another video game. But yeah, I was somebody had told me, I believe it was Russell that told me about, told me about, I think he told me about the video game, and then I looked it up, and yeah, they're making a new Friday the 13th game, a video game, so, and obviously a TV series, which they said that it's expected to come out in 2024, but just don't know the month. I heard about the TV series. Oh yeah. I heard about that too. Like, I don't know if you knew about the actor Adrienne King or whatever. She was obviously the final girl in the first Friday the 13th and the second one. And she's gonna be back in the TV series. It's gonna be pretty interesting. What will the game be like? Will it be different from the last one? They said that they didn't really say much about it. They just said that it's gonna be more realistic, you know. It's gonna be like way more realistic. And obviously it's gonna be on the PS5, so the graphics and whatnot is gonna look way better. And obviously it's gonna be made by a different company, so it's not gonna be made by Gun Media. And I think Harry Manfredini, I think he was one of the producers for Friday the 13th. He's the one that is going to be making it, supposedly. I just don't really know anything else about it yet. Other than that, they really haven't gave any news, and they probably won't give any news until the TV series or whatever, when that releases around that time. Whenever that, I don't really know what month that's going to release. They just said that's going to release in 2024, so. At the present day. Yeah, I believe so. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot more realistic, they said. And actually, I'm not 100% on that. I don't know if it's going to be. I don't know 100% if it's going to be like what consoles it's going to be on, but I do know it more likely will be on the next gen consoles, because PS4 is obviously getting old now, and there's a lot, obviously everyone mostly has PS5s and Xboxes, so Xbox Ones, or not Xbox One, the next generation. I forget the name of it. I think it's Xbox Series. I forget the name, but I know the next gen consoles are. I think they're going to be releasing it just on the next gen consoles, because the PS4 is obviously getting pretty old. Like, regards to the TV series, will it be present day or take place in the past? I'm not 100% on that. They, like I was saying, they haven't really gave any news Like they haven't gave any news about the TV series. They just are saying that it's expected to release in 2024 sometime. And again, I don't know if you remember Adrian King, but she was in the first two Friday the 13th films. She was the final girl. She's going to be back in the series. I think she's even like involved. She may be even involved in it, but I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that she's gonna be in the TV series. Um, because she's been posting a lot of stuff about it, like on Twitter and whatnot. I got Xbox Series X and PC. Oh yeah, yeah. I got a PS5. I actually won a. I got a PS5 on. I did like a bid or whatever, and I got I won a PS5. It was like $800 or so, but oh yeah, NW3, yeah, NW3 is probably one of my favorite, um, one of the best Call of Duty games, in my opinion. I haven't watched the first two in a long time, hot take, but the original Friday the 13th is garbage. Like a 3 out of 10. Oh, yeah, it was just like, yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, because Jason wasn't even in it yet. Like it was actually his mother. She was the one that was the original. She was the original like killer. It's the new NW3, not the old. This one is far from goat tier. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I seen that. I think yeah, I do know that there was. I did play the original one though, like from. I played that one from. I played the older one, so I was thinking about the original. We jokingly call it Modern Warfare 2019, Part 3. That's funny. But yeah, I remember playing the original, and I don't know if you also remember the first Modern Warfare, the original one that was on like the PS2. But it is as fun as hell. It's fun as hell. Overhated as heck, man. Yeah, I bet it is. I've never tried it before. I've only played the original one, like on the PS3 days, like, and that one was pretty good. It's fun. Oh yeah, I bet it is. Yeah, I'm a big Call of Duty guy. I've liked I like that first Modern Warfare game that came out, I believe, in like 2007 or 2006, around there. It was on the PS2, and I remember playing that game like crazy, crazy. And that game is like old school, and they actually remastered that. So I play that a lot still. Yeah, the original. Yeah, yeah. Yep, the 2013 one, I believe I think you're right. I remember the original Modern Warfare. It was so good. Yeah, yeah. The first Modern Warfare. Like yeah, that one. That one was OG. Like that. I still play that. Like I don't know if you. I don't know if you knew, but they remastered that game. Which that game is, and that game was absolutely just. Yup, yup. I remember that too. Man, that game came out. That was like on the PS2 days and the PS3, I believe, but I think it was on the PS2 because yeah, that game was OG. It might have been on the PS3, but I think it was on the PS2 as well. Yeah, man, that game is this OG. That's I think that's goaded. That game is definitely goaded. Yeah, Modern Warfare 2019 was trash. Yeah, I that's a lot of the new Call of Duty games nowadays are just not. I don't know. They're just not as good as they used to be. You know, they're kind of like different now compared to the old school ones. Like I think one of my favorite ones as well is probably Call of Duty Black Ops 2, which that one was probably one of my favorites. Like one of my, I wouldn't say like my all time favorites, but it was definitely one of the best Call of Duties. But yeah, I remember they remastered. Yeah, yeah, they remastered that. Hey, it looks pretty damn good. I believe COD 4 my NW 2007 was just on PS3 and Xbox 360. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think, yeah, I think you're right. Actually, I think I'm thinking of World at War. I might be thinking of World at War. I think that was on the PS2. That one was old school. Like, man, that one I remember playing that. Those PS2 games, man, they're just so classic. You know, nobody. I don't think any new game is gonna ever touch that, in my opinion. The greatest Call of Duty was without question there. Yeah, the greatest Call of Duty was without question the greatest of all time. No Kia just period. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, are you talking about Black Ops 2 or because yeah, Black Ops 2 for me, like I'm not saying it was the best. Um not saying that it's the best, of course, but it's definitely one of the best. Like, you know, I had so many memories. But that game is still yeah, that game is still man, that game is still like I still like play it on the PS3 and the graphics don't look that bad for a 2012 game like if you really think about it. That's funny. That's funny. I was typing my last chat about BO2 before you mentioned BO2. What are the odds? Yeah, it just came across my mind. Like, Black Ops 2 was just like one of the best. I don't know where the BO2 went. Sorry. Oh, it's all right. Um, but yeah, Black Ops 2, man, I had a lot of good memories on that in terms of like facing other people, like doing like sniper wars and whatnot. Um, just having a lot of just facing a whole bunch of like trash talkers on there. Man, I just had so many great memories on that game. I feel like that game was. I'm not saying again it was the best, but it was certainly one of the best. Oh, oh, you like BO3? Hey, I respect your opinion. I just didn't really like it as much personally. Like I don't know why I don't like it. It's probably just because of the flying and all that. Like maybe because I'm just more like old, like old school. Maybe that's why I don't really like that at all. Like the flying. But hey, I respect your opinion there. There's a lot of people that do like it. I mean, we could agree to disagree there. I mean, it was a good, yeah. I mean, it was fun, but again, like the only problem I had was the flying. That was probably the only thing that I didn't like because maybe that's because I'm old school and I'm more like I played like the older Call of Duties where you weren't able to do that. So maybe that's why I don't really dig that much. But I don't know. That's just my opinion. I do like the newer Call of Duties nowadays. I just don't like the way they what they're becoming. Like they're just not as good. So like the flying thing is just not like it's cool and all, but then again, I don't like the flying personally. The flying stuff is just it gets a little weird. Maybe that's because I'm old school again, but yeah, I think like easily probably the worst Call of Duty. The worst Call of Duty probably has to be that I wore BO3. I'll tell you. I got to level 100 master or 1000 master prestige and zombies and completed all the zombie challenges and hit level 80 something master uh, prestige and multiplayer and got dark matter cameo. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I never tried zombies in that game. Infinite Warfare, yeah. I think Infinite Warfare is easily probably one of the worst. And I think another a bad one that I didn't really like was probably Call of Duty Ghost, which Call of Duty Ghost I think was just probably one of the worst ones. for me personally. But there's a lot of people that like Ghosts. I skipped the last two. Oh, really? Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, Call of Duty Ghosts. Yeah, that was bad to me. I think that one was the worst. I mean, I downloaded that game. I could not play that game within like 2 seconds. Like, I had to uninstall it like within 2 seconds. That's basically how bad it is to me. But that's just personally me, you know. A lot of people have. Oh, that's why you don't like BO3. Zombie is top notch, but I also enjoyed multiplayer a lot. Yeah, that's OG myself. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I just didn't really like. I just don't really like the flying or anything. You know, the flying is probably like the weirdest. You know, probably the weirdest for me. Um, like I know a lot of people may like that, the flying stuff. Maybe I'm just a little too old school again. Maybe that's probably why, but I've never I've never tried to play like zombies or anything like that on there, but I don't know. I just never really cared for like the flying and whatnot. With the flying and it's just not really all that. It all started with Advanced Warfare. Oh yeah, yeah. Infinite Warfare was literally just BO2 or BO3. Excuse me. Yeah, BO3 was the best card with Young Lion. Okay. Yeah, man. I guess to me it was okay. I mean, I liked it, but I certainly don't think it was like I don't think it was better than BO2 or anything. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm just too old school. I just don't like the flying because I like just walking around like naturally. I feel like that's a little funner in a lot of ways. Man, there's a lot of people that like it, which hey, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I'm just not into. I don't like the flying. Advanced Warfare. Advanced Warfare was the first with on the flying. Oh yeah, yeah, that was. Yep, it was. It definitely was. Yeah. Yeah, and that's so like I don't know like that's when it got weird for me personally. Remember when the Infinite Warfare trailer had broke a dislike record with the amount of dislike it got? Oh yeah, yep, yep. Infinite Warfare was probably the worst, probably the worst Call of Duty you ever made. Like Man, I downloaded that game before. I played it many times, and yeah, that game was absolutely just terrible. Like I couldn't. And also, too, like I don't know, man. I just don't really care for the flying. I know a lot of people do, and a lot of people enjoy it, but again, maybe I'm just old school, and I just like walking, having it be like natural instead of being able to fly and whatnot. But maybe that's just my style. Maybe that's just not my style personally. But I do like it for sure, and it's okay game. Well, Infinite Warfare I don't like, but go BO3. I mean, of course I played that before, and it was pretty fun. I got one gun gold in Infinite Warfare and quit it forever. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, Infinite Warfare was just terrible. But yeah, I love the Black Ops 4. I never played it. Do you like it? Not necessarily good, but not bad. Yeah, like I don't know, like the newer games nowadays, like I don't know what it is. It just doesn't feel like the old school ones. Especially like Black Ops 2. Like Black Ops 2, I feel like that's the one game I've been pulling forward. Like I've been wanting them to remaster that game because I feel like that's like one of the best. Again, if not one of the best Call of Duties. Um, so I think that game definitely should have got remastered. You know, and I wonder why they haven't tried to remaster it yet. But I mean, it's like I know people on Xbox can play it and whatnot, but I'm just talking about PlayStation as well. Like Black Ops Cold War BO5 was good, but they made the camo talented way too 10 years. Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah, I like BO4. Yeah, I've never tried BO4 before. Never tried Black Ops 4, but I've heard that it was pretty good for the most part. Um, and also I had that new Modern Warfare game. Yeah, Modern Warfare 3 that came out. I played that game and I really don't like it. I actually uninstalled it. I bought it and then uninstalled it because I just didn't really care for it as much. Like I don't know, it just wasn't as good as, of a game to me. I think I got assault rifles, diamond, and BL4. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I've never. I think I've only got a couple of gold guns, and BO2, but you played the new me. Yeah, yeah, I played that. I played the new NW3, and I didn't like it. I liked it for a little bit, but then it kind of got a little boring for some reason. I just uninstalled it. Yeah, man, it was a good game. I just don't. Again, I just don't know what it was. Just, but I do got Modern Warfare still. Um, I got that remastered. I was expecting hackers and for it to be complete trash. Cameos are relatively easy to get, which is good. Yeah, they are. And that's one thing I'll say that I like. That camos are pretty much, it's a lot easier than it is, the other games. But I do got Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. I bought that. I bought the remastered because they remastered that. So I actually still have that installed. That game is still fun. Even though people don't like the fact that the health, when you shoot somebody a million times, they basically don't die. Like, but that's just, I don't know. That's just old school, and I like it. But yeah, I think the I also played Modern Warfare 2, which that one I actually beat that game within one day, which is crazy. But yeah, that game was pretty damn good. The campaign. Um, yeah, I just love Call of Duty in general. Like Call of Duty is just one of the best, if not the best, like franchise game franchise like ever made. Um, and I don't know if you remember. Do you remember World at War? Because I played that on the PS2 back in the day. Um, which that game was. I think that game was pretty damn good. That's I played that like back in the day, like when the PS2 and like the GameCube days. Like, man, that game there, that's a classic. Yeah, World at War. Yeah, like I just remember when it was released. I think I was like, I would say I was probably like in third grade or so when that was released, which is crazy. Like I remember, playing that on the PS2 and even on the GameCube, the GameCube days. Um, which that one's a classic. And what was crazy was that I think that was before like online, before you were able to play with people, I believe. I'm not 100%, but I think that was before online because obviously it was the PS2. The PS2, you weren't able to really play with people like you could on the PS3. Um, so it got more like advanced, obviously, after the PS2, but I don't think that you were able to play with anybody during that time because obviously that was it was a little different. You didn't have online like that. Well, you had. I think that you're able to. I forget. I don't know if you were able to play with people or not still, but I don't think you were. My top five is BO3, MW2, Call of Duty and Modern Warfare, or Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, BO3 mostly for zombies, BO1 for zombies. Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, and Black Ops 1, yes. Black Ops 1 is another good one too. Like I think my top five is probably I'll probably go Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Um oh, okay. So BO2 is your number one. Oh, okay. Yeah, sometimes yeah, I understand what's supposed to be number. Oh, okay. So your number one is obviously BO2, NW2. So your number one is BO2. Your number two is NW2. Your number three is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. And then your number four is BO3. And then your number five is BO1. Huh. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, I think that's around what I have mine. I think mine is obviously Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Black Ops 1. Or no, I'm gonna say Black Ops 2 and then Black Ops 1. And then NW3. I think that's like my top four. And then probably BO3 will probably be like my last. Yeah, BO2, NW2, Call of Duty 4, BO3, and BO1. Yeah. Yeah, Black Ops 1 was pretty good, but I don't like it as much as I definitely think Black Ops 2 was better than that. But yeah, that's basically so my top five is Black Ops 2. Or no. My top five is Call of Duty 4, Black Ops 2, um, Black Ops 1, um, actually no, I'm gonna go Call of Duty 4, Black Ops 2, NW3, Black Ops 1, and then Black Ops 3. So that's my top 5. But yeah, it's all overall just I think it's the best gaming franchise in like I grew up on a lot of like classics, you know. And do you like the GTA series as well, like the GTA franchise? Because GTA is another that I like. Same, it's my favorite franchise. Oh yeah, for sure. It's definitely fun. I can't wait till GTA 6. Yeah, GTA 6 was definitely I can't wait till that comes out, man. That's going to be lit. But you see the screen or the GTA V. I said scream, sorry. You see GTA 6 trailer? Um no, I didn't. Is it out? Cuz I haven't heard any news about it. I just know that they were making. I knew that they are gonna make a GTA 6, but I didn't know if there was a trailer yet or what. I don't think that there is a trailer. Is there? I'm gonna do a gaming channel in the future. GTA 6 could be my time to shine. Oh yeah, for sure. I want to do that as well. I want to do something different. I want to do. That'd be cool to like do like gaming as well, um, and play GTA 6 and obviously the new Friday the 13th. Bro, what? The trailer's literally breaking records. Yeah, they're really be in 3 days. Really? I didn't, dude. I did not know that. Like, I have not been keeping up. To be honest with you, on the GTA games at all. Like, I have not been keeping up. Like, I have not kept up on the news or anything. I did see that they were still updating GTA 5, but I didn't know that the GTA 6 trailer came out. Damn, I'm missing out big time. I'm definitely gonna have to check it out for sure because yeah, I'm missing out for sure. It's a 150 views right now. Oh wow! Either I caught the trailer though. I used to play GTA in 2017. Yeah, wow, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I did not know that it came out. Um, like I knew that they were making it. I had heard. Obviously, I know what city they're going to be in. They're going to be in Miami, and I guess Liberty City is going to be in it, and also Los Santos. Um, damn, 12 days ago. Oh my gosh, I'm missing out big time. Yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't know anything about it or anything. Um, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to do some catching up for sure. Definitely gonna have to watch it because I definitely missed out. Long overdue, man. I'm glad that we're getting another GTA game. But wow, dude, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. Wow, wow. Alrighty, man. Good night. Thank you for popping in. Greatly appreciated. I hope you have get a good night rest tonight. Uh, Take care, man. Peace. Alrighty. Peace out. Wow, that's very interesting, guys. Wow. I did not know. What? You're fucking kidding me, guys. Like, okay. So I know this was supposed to be a Friday the 13th talk. I know we got off a little off topic there but it's all right. Forget all that. It's fine. GTA fucking 6 trailer just came out 12 days ago and I didn't even know about it. Wow. I'm gonna definitely have to watch that damn shit, bro. Supposedly there is a girl. Holy fuck, bro. Sorry for my language, guys, but holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. You are not fucking. You're fucking joking with me, right? Holy. Oh my god, bro. It was released 12 days ago, literally. Like, so supposedly there's going to be a girl character, basically a girl character that's you're going to play as, it looks like. Wow. GTA fucking 6. And again, sorry for my language, guys. But when Jordan told me that, I went crazy. I was like, "Holy fuck! Are you serious?" I can't believe I've been missing. I've been missing out. Like the trailer came out literally. Wow. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna call the night. Um, I'm definitely getting a little sleepy, obviously. But thank you, Jordan, obviously for popping in. Those of you that didn't get to make it, of course, be sure to hit the like button, watch the replay as always. I am getting tired as well. Gonna get laying down for sure because I'm kind of getting into that phase now where I'm getting a little tired. So I hope you guys have a great night. Be sure to look out for the holiday stream on Monday. We're gonna be doing a holiday stream, obviously streaming on Monday at 10:30 p.m. So make sure to make it. If you can't make it, be sure to try to hit that like button, still and watch the replay. But obviously, we're gonna be doing a holiday stream, so we'll be talking about our favorite Christmas movies, basically our all-time favorite Christmas films, holiday films. It could be horror related, it could be comedy, it doesn't matter. We're gonna talk about holiday Christmas films, Christmas movies in general. So I hope you guys, hopefully you guys can make it. And again, if you can't, be sure to watch the replay. But all right, guys, I hope you guys have a great night and good night rest. See you all on Monday. Good night, everyone.